Hello, good afternoon, good morning for those in the US. Grab yourselves a nice hot coffee because this is an afternoon edition here in the UK of the People's Wrestling Podcast. Let's just quickly get on with this. I am, of course, UK finest Ricky James. And make sure to go ahead, like, subscribe, all of that. I'm bringing my co-host, my tag team partner. He is the man of wealth. He's a man of gold. If it shows up here, there it is. The man all about Hollywood. It is Sean Gold.
Look, I was tagged in. Can you believe that? I was
Tag you in.
Tag me in. Tag me in, right? Tag me in. It's not a self high five. It's maybe no. I just did it myself. What's going on? It is the morning in the United States. I am tired. I was in a cage last night. But I am rocking the NWO old school situation. Too sweet, baby. Too sweet. Too sweet. But I am, right? We got some stuff to talk about today. We got some shit to address. So let's jump into it.
It's very, very, very quickly. So those wondering what is Sean talking about? So Titan Championship Wrestling, or I want to make sure I've got that right.
Titan Championship. Yeah, correct. Titan Championship Wrestling.
Titan Championship Wrestling on Facebook. Go and check them out, and you'll see Sean in a steel cage and the rest of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It was cool. It was cool. It's always fun, right? Listen, I always say it's always fun to get in the ring. It's real. I think a lot of it also is fun when everybody's chill, right? So like, everybody in the organization they're chill, they're fun to hang around with, because I think that if anybody doesn't know, which you all should know, but one of the cool things is you don't just show up at 5:59 and the bell goes ding ding, right? It's a lot of hours with these people beforehand, hanging out, shooting the world. So it's good to have people that you're just gonna hang out with, and they kind of like each other. It makes a locker room just better.
Yeah, that's how it should be. So as Sean says, we'll kick this off right now with segment number 1, and we all know what that is, and that is this right here. So what? Sorry.
On your table.
What's cooking the table? So very quickly, what I've been up to really quickly, Jim, the walking group that I go on, did make this, because I make this for every pay-per-view or every WWE big show, whatever that is, whether it's Worlds Collide or Saturday Night's Main Event or a pay-per-view, whatever it is, I make those. And I've got my ticket for next year's. We have a convention here, Europe's biggest convention, called For the Love of Wrestling.
Very cool.
So I'm not going to go through all the names. I'll be here all day, but just a few names: Drew the King Lawler, Paige, The Great Khali, Killer Cross and Scarlett just got announced, Bill Apter, and Jim Ross. So there's many more other names, but there's just a handful of names that will be there.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a slobber knocker. Oh, see what I mean?
Jim Ross and Drew Lawler, Duo Force, so I would imagine they'll be on commentary for this show. They have. I don't know. No idea. I don't know how Drew King Lawler's commentary is. I know he's in bad health right now, so I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah, I got my ticket for that, so I'm looking forward to that. But it always costs me a lot. Travel, everything. It cost me around £1,000. Most of that is photos and autographs, but mainly photos. But yes, that's what I've been up to. So yeah, Sean, what have you been up to since last week?
Oh my God, what have I not been up to? Obviously in the ring, right? We're in the ring, right? So the people want to hear we're in the ring. getting ready for the different shows, right? Getting ready for the Titan shows, getting ready for the Gremlin House wrestling shows. I did find out that I'm probably going to be involved with Sandman at the Gremlin show, so just getting my back ready for that. Yeah, man, just cruising and grinding. I wish, honestly, though, like you said, I wish I'd been in the gym, right? I think that I haven't been in the gym probably in like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, so I kind of miss it at this point. Even if it's 20 minutes or so, 20-25 minutes, right? You want to get it in. I think probably Monday I'm gonna kind of go back to it, get into that that wavelength, right? That mentality, right? That mental mentality again, clanging and banging, right? Because if I don't, then October 25th, when I'm in the ring with Sandman, my body's gonna feel it.
And it's hard to get back into it. Just with that, when the local gym closes for Christmas, and that's only 3-4 days over Christmas and New Year. Not even every New Year, it's like 3 days. Getting back after Christmas, I find hard, and that's just 2-3 days at the most.
Yeah, so, it's one of those things. It's like it's crazy. Like you could think of probably a million excuses as you drive to the gym to not go to the gym, right? Like I my gym is, I got a bunch of them, right? I got a Planet Fitness, right? There's hundreds of them in the States. And so, there's no excuse. If you like, I know friends who have gyms 20 minutes away. I'm like, man, my gym was 20 minutes away. That's 20 minutes that I could figure out a way not to go to the gym. Right? Like I don't want to do this. Oh, I passed Target. Oh, let me just pop in and get some stuff. Like, I really don't need this right now. Like, it's a mentality thing, right? And I committed myself to going to the gym all the time, just like last May. Got to a point where I didn't. Again, you don't have to be there for 2 hours, 3 hours. Fit it in within your schedule, right? So I tend to, on the weekends when I was really consistent with it over the summer. Yeah, I'd spend like an hour and a half there, 2 hours, just doing different things. But in the weekdays for work and stuff like that, it would be like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, right? Quick set, shoulders, 30, 10 sets of 10 sets, the 3 sets of 10, right? Shoulders, chest, 110 abs, finish out with a 10-minute hydro massage, right? Just do a little thing, legs a little bit, right? Just to keep the consistency, box jumps, right? Because you can do all that stuff in like 20-25 minutes. So that's what I've been doing. I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna stick with it. That's what we have to do.
So very, very quickly before we move on, I go for about an hour at a time, and the Rock has said, and look at the Rock. Well, and I know he's. So we found out he's slimming down for a movie, but the Rock.
Told you.
He's still in incredible shape, but the Rock has said the days that you feel like you don't want to go to the gym, those are the days you should definitely go. But that's his take. Yeah. Speaking of the Rock, we know that he's a Hollywood megastar, which brings us right into the next segment, which is all about
movie talk.
I think that is correct. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go back and forth here. I'm going to say one movie I've seen, and I'm going to go to Sean. So we're going to go back and forth here. I will sit and watch anything. So the first movie of 3 that I've watched is, your children might like this, and it was a decent movie, was Smurfs. It was an okay film. Not as good as obviously the other thing is it's a remake, but not as good as the original, if that makes sense. I don't know. I know what I'm saying, but I think it's a remake of the movie they had out a few years ago. That was better. But again, I will sit and watch anything.
Clearly.
Anything. Hollywood, horror, comedy, kids' films, anything. But yes, what movies have you been watching since last?
The next movie you're gonna pull up is Blue's Clues. I'm trying to think if I even watched any movies this week at all. I watched a lot of series, right? You got to get back into the again, in the work model, right? I always have something in the background watching. Sometimes it's a movie. Trying to think if I had watched any movies, really, just even in the background, right? I think a lot of it was TV shows. Sopranos was on in the background this week. What else was? Oh, Orange is the New Black, right? Back in the background. Did I watch like a documentary this week? I'm trying to think. It's a lot of. It's probably gonna be the same next week because it's an insane week. I watched wrestling this week, right? So
10 zillion hours of wrestling.
Right, like that's the thing. It's like if you work all day, come home, and then wrestling's on, so you watch that. There was I watched a lot of news this week. Unfortunately, we'll get into that. I did watch a lot of news this week, but in the background right now, I got Suits. Right, I'm a huge fan of the Suits show. Seen every episode, every season. Huge fan of that show. If you guys have not seen Suits, go on Netflix and catch your shit up.
She's not a wrestler, but it wasn't Meghan Markle on Suits, Harry's wife. She's not a wrestler, but
Correct. She's 100% in the show. And cool note here. She left the show. I think there was like 8 or 9 seasons of Suits. I think she left after 6, maybe after season 6, because she was dating him and because the English Crown didn't want. I mean, she was pretty scandalous on that show. We saw some things where you're like, well, this is close to soft porn, like close. And I'm sure the Crown did not like that too much and was like, you need to be more caught up. But like, let's be clear here with her. Like, she had like a Netflix show, let's be clear. Like, she's like, listen, you were on a show on USA. Like, settle down. Like, that's like I always think. You ever seen the movie Pretty Woman?
yeah, classic movie.
Classic, right? So it's like Meghan Markle like turns off a thing in her head and she becomes the girl from the Polo Grounds. Like, didn't we just pick you up on a street corner? Like, weren't you be a paid hooker? Like relax. Like, you can't just be all classy when you were having sex in the law closet here, right? Like, no, like it can't be the same. You can't. I understand why the Crown was like, yo, you got to tone it down a little bit. Let's be clear here. But like, don't show up on Netflix with like a show about baking. Like, it wasn't even your house. Like, she should have on a show. I like to cut the flowers. Like, that's not even your house. You rented the house for the show. It was silly.
Yeah. So very quickly, the other 2 movies I've seen again. Keeping with the theme of I watch anything. Pizza Man, but starring DDP in and Roddy Piper. That's my excuse. If they weren't in it, I wouldn't have watched it. Very B movie level superhero movie, but
B level.
B movie, B level, just
a B movie.
B movie, B level, whatever.
Okay, wait a minute. Do you know what a B movie is? The Titanic. So please don't put the Pizza Man in Titanic.
D level then, and this Great White Waters. This again was
it
was okay.
It's like Jaws.
Yeah, it's not classic like Jaws.
Did you ever watch okay, so you gotta watch Jaws and then go to like, well, it's not there anymore, but like go to Universal and like go to the Jaws thing and you're like, and then you go back to watch Jaws again and you're like, I'm not scared of this damn shark, not one bit.
No, but it is a classic. Jaws, I personally find Jaws one of those you can watch 100 times and it's still.
Jaws, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the premise behind. So it's funny. I think the premise behind Nightmare on Elm Street far surpasses any kind of like psycho crazy movies you see now. The premise, right? Because it is a real premise. Like people like think it's a joke. Yes, I get it. Freddy Krueger's I get it. But Nightmare on Elm Street, the premise behind it, think about it, right? He kills you when you're in your dreams, your nightmares, right? How many people that are listening to this right now go to sleep, have a nightmare? It's legit. Like, or how many times you are in a dream or a nightmare and you're falling from something and it shakes you and it makes you jolt, right? Like, or like you might be almost dead in your dream. There's an old saying that apparently this is a saying where if you die in your dreams, you actually die.
How would people? How would they know? How would people know? How is that being proven?
So I have zero idea. Zero idea. I think it's an old adage. Right? It's an old adage.
Sounds like one of those.
It's like
how would people know? How,
like a wise tale. Yeah.
they died. They had.
There's
They gently died.
Right. There's plenty of times that I've fallen off a cliff, and like almost died, and I'm like So imagine like Freddy Krueger, right? Just kills you in your dreams.
True. But yeah, we'll go into the next segment, which Sean will introduce and tell us all about it, what the subject matter is, and all of that. So yeah, here we go.
The wrestling soapbox, right? So every week, what we're gonna do is, and it doesn't always have to be wrestling. It just has to be something that you want to speak about, right? You need to get out. You need to vent. You need to wake up, right? You need to just get it off your chest. And once you get it off your chest, you don't need to talk about it anymore. You need to get off your soapbox, your preaching soapbox, right? If you will. Now, let me just give you the background on the soapbox in case you don't know. I don't know how you wouldn't. Soapbox speaking was created essentially at Hyde Park, right? People would go to Hyde Park. They would stand on a soapbox, if you will, or like not a soapbox, but a box in general. And they would talk about what they needed to air their grievance, so whatever that the grievance might be. And they would say that once you are done, or you'd say like, all right, I need to get off my soapbox, right? And so they would step down and they'd be done talking, right? There's tons of different, if you go to Hyde Park, there's tons of different not memorabilia, but there's tons of different like informational type screens that and statues that kind of heed to that as well. Or if you've ever been to London and take a double-decker bus, when you pass Hyde Park, they tell you about that as well. Now, because we're covering Saudi situation in another segment, I don't need to talk about that because we're going to talk about it then. Because I do have feelings from a soapbox perspective there too. So, but in this particular situation, when we were talking about the movies before, and I said I didn't really watch any movies this week because I watched the news. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's be clear here.
The Charlie Kirk thing.
We're gonna get controversial for a hot minute here. I tend to live in a mindset that okay, I call myself what's called, and it's not really a thing. I call myself a common sense Republican. Now, let me explain really what that
Give
means.
me 1 second. I'm going to take a quick toilet break. But yeah, carry on. I'll be back in 1 second. 1 second.
I can't believe he's toilet breaking. As I'm soapboxing, he's leaving. Do you hear this, people? Let's talk about it. common sense Republican. See, I see common sense Republican and he leaves the room. I'm just simply saying, let me explain what that really means. Being a common sense Republican is something who, whether you're a Democrat or Republican or whatever the case may be, the views of the left and right of the extremes don't affect you per se. If there's a policy that makes sense from your particular political party, you run with it. If there's a policy that makes sense or somebody does good on the other side, you run with it, right? It makes a lot of sense. I am someone that that also believes that you should be able to have an opinion, right? It doesn't matter if I agree with your opinion or not. The opinion has, right? The opinion goes. And also at the same time, that opinion, especially from a political standpoint, won't affect my abilities to move that opinion outside of personal relationships. So I won't judge you per se for an opinion, right? So my in-laws are Democrats. They know I'm a common sense Republican, right? And so it doesn't affect our relationships. And so we kind of, that's just our opinions. And so what ends up happening is I look at everything as a whole before giving my opinion on things from a political perspective. Now, saying all of that, I find, first off, the situation with Charlie Kirk unbelievably sad and made me pissed off. Now, I'm not speaking as Charlie Kirk what he thinks. In fact, some of his opinions I agree with. Some of his things I don't. Remember, I'm a common sense Republican. I'm not going to support just because he's a Republican and his thing, and I'm not going to support if he was it's just not. What I find unequivocally gross is the celebratory situations on social media of his death. Let's talk about it, right? Trick Williams, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it for a hot second here. The man is 31 years old. The man never graduated college. So the funny side of it is that he's preaching at colleges. That's a little funny side of it. But never graduated college, built business up, right? Has his views. Some I agree with, some I don't. Father of two, right? Wake the fuck up, people. This is not 1919. This is not the start of World War I. This is not the civil rights movement with the deaths of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. This is 2025. And unfortunately, again, with the power of social media, the power of social media can be good, it can be bad. And it's sometimes social media gets to a point where I think sometimes the bad outweighs the good. Because of the negativity. I look back 20 years ago, and yes, we all might have these opinions, but we weren't sharing them all the time. And I think one of the problems is we share our opinions too much as well, right? Like, again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but who is this person to think this? Who is this person to think that? And at the same time, his basis was to come and debate people. You come and you debate. A liberal comes and debates a conservative, right? We debate. At the end of the day, we're friends. We part ways there as friends, and it's a good learning moment. In college, I had a discussion in debate class, right? Didn't matter whose side was what. So what I'm saying in this situation, guys, is grow up. Just grow up. You're going to murder somebody with two young kids? Charlie Kirk did nothing to you. He didn't kill your family, so you kill his. Grow up. Look in the mirror and realize that both sides are not too far apart. We all love family. We all want to prosper and make money. And if you're not in that situation, you're the outlier, not them. The right to bear arms, that's a whole different discussion for a different time. But if you're going to sit there and say, we should amend the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, well, then we have to amend the first one, freedom of speech. You can't murder somebody and then say gun laws need to change. But then the guy who's sitting there, freedom of speech, you going to shoot him? Dead? 31 years old? Grow up. I'm going to step off my soapbox right now.
For me, well, yeah, but my opinion on it, well, extremely sad, as you said, extremely crazy. 31, so he's 7 years younger than I am. So that makes me feel old. That people younger than me.
He did a lot more with his life than us.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, yeah, definitely. I've done a lot with my life. It's mainly to do with wrestling, but yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really crazy. See, because it's the US, I don't really know 100% of the situation. He was a Trump supporter, correct? So
he just had conservative views, Trump supporter, MAGA, but also at the same time, his views were what his views were, and that's okay, right? I would feel the same way if it was a Democrat at that young age too. I would feel the same way, right? Like it's not about that. It's about how dare someone take this guy's life, because of his political views. Like, because why? Because he ignited discussion and debate. He wasn't a violent person at all. You look at him. Just look at him. Right? Like, he wasn't a violent person. He believed in discussion and debate. And one of the big things that he said was, if you're going to try to debate me, you could change my mind.
yeah, I've seen a few. Well, just out of curiosity, kind of seen a few of his rallies, and yeah, he said to some 70-year-old challenging to a fight. He said, "No, you try and defeat me with your words, not and because you can't defeat me with your words, do you now want to turn this into a fist fight?" So I thought that was good. Joe Rogan show, Charlie Sheen was on it. And then I heard about the news, and Charlie Sheen, said he's been killed for having a different opinion. Crazy, really crazy, really crazy.
And his views weren't so. I mean, to certain people, his views were blasphemous, right? But his views weren't like too far off of what, like, they're not. It's not crazy, right? Like again, you have half the country, a little over half the country that voted for Donald Trump. You have the other half of the country that didn't. And these are the things that are happening. And here's the thing, like, all of them need to be better. I'm a huge proponent of every politician, and even probably in the UK, right? All these politicians need to be better. The problem is they're all right. They're all serving to their donors, right? So, like, why won't there be more better gun control? Because the NRA pays billions of dollars to these guys to not have that. Why can't we have better healthcare systems? Because the CEO of the healthcare systems pays the way of somebody, right? Like, come on. I'm tired. Like, let's be clear here. I'm really tired of people saying these are our representatives. They're sent to Washington to be for us. Shut up. Shut up. They're not. They're there to serve the people that pay for them. And then they come out and go, I'm here to serve the people. But the people that they're talking about are the people that are the donors. And I understand that. And again, as being a common sense Republican, there are things that I agree with that the administration is doing, and there's things that I don't. My parents are not common sense Republicans; they are Republicans, and we have differences of opinions on certain things. We just do.
Very quickly, you are correct. It's a joke. Our the prime minister, he is the prime minister, but useless. And my dog could do a better job. I thank God that we don't have. You can carry guns in this country because I'm not wishing death on anybody, but he would probably be dead. Someone would probably took him out back because he's useless. He's awful. He cannot do his job.
Just looking at the event Carnival, right, in Notting Hill, right? So if you know, okay, so I was there, I was in the UK, I was in London during Carnival, right? I couldn't go to Notting Hill because it was dangerous. Notting Hill is not a dangerous place normally. But if you already know, and this is just again going back to the common sense-ness of life, right? If you know pre-carnival that Notting Hill, there's a good chance there's gonna be a lot of arrests and stabbings. I have a light bulb. You don't do it. And I gotta tell you, I'm telling you, I was coming back from Bourbon. Was it Bourbon? Bourbon on the water, Bombay on the water, English countryside. I was coming back from the English countryside, right? And I was on a bus on the way back, a van. And I looked to my left in Notting Hill, like area, kind of near the Paddington area. It was just overrun with like people. It looked like Where's Waldo, right? Like that many people in like a small space. And I'm like, dude, if it's that dangerous, then just cancel the damn thing. Like, come on.
Yeah, there was. I stay away from the news, but
it was like 141 arrests, 14 stabbings. Like,
I think people died, got killed as well. I think I don't know. Again,
well, if you know that this is going to happen, don't do it.
Like I said, I try it all. Certainly here in the UK, the news is just all doom and gloom as people are getting killed and people getting shot and this is happening and that's happening. But yeah, a lot of killings. But quickly back to the Charlie Kirk thing. Hopefully this now encourages security for these events to be a whole lot better. Hopefully that's the only good thing that comes out of obviously like you said, 2 kids, a wife.
Every time that these kind of events happen, though, unfortunately, we say it's going to be better, and it never does. It never is.
Dead at 31, so like I said, 7 years younger than I am, and that's it for having a different opinion to somebody. So the only good thing, hopefully, that comes out of this is the security gets a whole lot better because that's twice now. Trump was that far from getting killed. If he not turned his head, he would have been dead. And now Charlie Kirk. So hopefully improve security. I don't know what they can do.
I think that unfortunately, when the Trump thing happened, I think Charlie Kirk was asked like, "Hey, are you going to move your events inside and stuff like that? So there's more of an easier time for security." And he was like, "Absolutely not." I do think that that's an easy fix. Again, Democrat or Republican, I think it's an easy fix. If you move events inside, you have an easier time controlling the narrative of, first off, not letting people, even if they sneak in, you have the people places that they would essentially set up for. Whereas outside, it's a lot harder to handle the buildings and stuff like that. So I think that's a really easy fix. It's making mandatory essentially. Like, these rallies will not be outside anymore. Let's see what they do.
That's what they could do, but I know very quickly I get Charlie not wanting to, because you kind of it's giving in, isn't it? But on the inside, it's letting these shooters win, I suppose, but also safety. So there is that.
100%.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Obviously, very sad times.
It was tough, man. It was tough this week. It was, again, it was not somebody that like. I mean, I watch this stuff sometimes. You know, if I got them, you know, like when you get on like a not a, like you go a rabbit hole, right? Like a rabbit hole on Instagram or Facebook, right? You just start scrolling on reels, right? So occasionally his stuff will pop up and I'll watch it. I'll get a good laugh out of it sometimes. But America, y'all got to be better. We just got to be better. Like, wake up. Like, I feel like it's a every week conversation. Like, can it be better? Like, stop referencing the amendments. Stop referencing freedom of like self, like, you know, the ability to carry a gun. Like, the founding fathers wrote this in 1776. Like, they didn't know there was machine guns. The right to bear arms meant you can protect your home with a musket gun. A musket gun. For all of these people that don't know what a musket gun is, let me show you. Right? This gun. Stuff. Pull. Boom. Musket gun.
Just imagine one of those. Just imagine one of those today.
Imagine one of those now, like in a fight. Like, wait.
An intruder into your home. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Oh.
Whoa. Like, that's what it was created for, right? That's what it's created for. Like, stop. It's different. Like, grow up. Do I think that the amendments have to be maybe fixed up a little bit? I think maybe they do. I think I've always thought that. But you don't have to do that. Just grow up. Grow up.
Yeah.
We're adults.
Totally agree.
Words. Fight with facts.
Definitely. But the fact is, I have my own T-shirt brand, and we'll quickly play that ad, and then we'll get into the big news.
Oh, please. Let's get on a soapbox with that. Let's go.
Let's play this first quickly. So yeah, Protein Tees, Gummers 1, 2, you get 2 shout-outs per live, every single live, and a kind of a bonus shout-out, and I will induct you into the People's Wrestling Channel Hall of Fame. But it is big news in 2 years' time, but we'll cover it now. And that is... news and headlines. Give me a sec. There it is. News and headlines. And we kick off with let me find the picture quickly. WrestleMania 43.
Rock doesn't look like that no more.
He's still in great shape, but WrestleMania 43 heading to Saudi Arabia. For those that are shocked, why are you? I knew it would happen. When they got the Rumble, I thought they're going to get a Mania.
Why are you shocked?
The rumored 2 Manias, that was rumored.
Right.
Ugh. They were saying about a Mania in the US and a Mania in Saudi. They were also saying next year's Mania was going to be, and this was, well, again, the rumors, just a rumor, that it would simultaneously be in Saudi and Vegas. If they had done that, would have been a horrible idea. But it's official. Mania 43 heading to Saudi Arabia. The only good, it's become the norm. Me staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. to watch AEW. But staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. to watch wrestling has become the norm, so I'm used to it. But I won't cry that it's going to be on at, I think the Saudi show starts about 6 p.m. So Mania's going to finish 9, 10 p.m. It was a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
So at least that's a good thing. That's the only good thing, really. Obviously, to WWE is the money. At the press conference, for those that watched it, they looked so overjoyed that it's going to Saudi. Well, first of all, why was Bianca Belair, Stephanie Vicky, and Liv Morgan? The lineup was just why. Also, the women have to now. Well, okay, the women will have to cover up, and their entrance is part of WrestleMania. So there's that, and they want The Rock, who will be 50, again, in incredible shape, but he'll be 55. The rumors they want Austin, who will be 62. Why hasn't there been a star built since the only name I can think of since Cena is Reigns? That's it. That's the one only star that I think that feels like a star, Reigns. But why do they have to keep going back to past 62 if Austin does a match, 55 if The Rock does a match? And I can see them doing it. I think see The Rock doing it for a big, massive payday and loyalty to WWE. Again, what stars have they built? And that's why they have to keep bringing back Lesnar, Cena, Rock, AJ Lee. Paige is probably next in the pipeline. Chris Jericho's in the pipeline. All these past names keep coming back.
So there's a lot to unpack here, right? You're unpacking it from a wrestling perspective. I'm going to unpack it from a business perspective, right? So, all right, number one, I've always wanted to go to Riyadh. Let's be clear. So I will be looking into going. Now, here's the business aspect of it all. I don't like it. I never did. I believe that London should have gotten the first WrestleMania. Let's be clear here. But there is a lot to unpack. And again, it's really a soapbox situation, right? But there's a lot to unpack here for multiple business reasons, right? So you guys all know I'm not a fan of TKO. I've said that before. I believe that Mark Shapiro, I think it's Mark Shapiro, right? Who's the president of TKO, comes out this week and says that Vince McMahon had the product wrong. That he priced for families. And you shouldn't do that. You should price for families. You should price for business. Now, that is what is going on in the world of the World Wrestling Entertainment space. How do we know this? We know this because it was a shit WrestleMania, but they made a ton of money. And what they do? Let's run it back in Vegas, right? Because this is what, 1986 and 87? Is 86 and 87 or 87 and 88? Let's go back to Trump Towers, right? Let's go to Trump Plaza. Let's go to Atlantic City, right? A little different of a ball game now, right? And the rumor is that that Saudi paid WWE $100 million. I have told you guys a few weeks ago that I thought that WWE was in debt with TKO. Well, $100 million goes a long way. I will tell you that this WrestleMania, financially, get ready for it. Wait a minute. Who am I right now? Hold on. Who am I? Well, let's talk about the numbers. WrestleMania was the best and most highest selling. Shut up. Yeah, we know it's gonna be right. It's gonna be the highest selling WrestleMania gross of all time. Highest gate, highest this, highest that, because everything that costs $1 then costs $50 now. And my guess is, man, and I gotta tell you this with all honesty, you can clip this and put this on a YouTube short. I will tell you that I would be very surprised if this wasn't the first WrestleMania and second WrestleMania next year and third WrestleMania the year after, right? Like, and so on and so forth. Like we have gotten away from what WrestleMania is. Hell, the WWE has gotten away from who they are into what they are now. Profit, 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 profit. I understand it's a business, and I get it. But you're going to find this more and more, man. You're going to find this situation more and more. Far gone are the days of this, that, and the other. How many? I mean, Minnesota was promised a WrestleMania. It's in Saudi now. Indianapolis was promised a WrestleMania too, right? They signed a huge agreement, right? A future WrestleMania. Like, there should have been a timeline on it. And
yeah.
Right, yeah. New Orleans promised a WrestleMania. Remember, who was I? Wait a minute. Fire. Didn't like The Rock come out? Boom, fire everywhere. Come to New Orleans, right? Like, oh, sorry, Vegas got it. Right? Like, this is what's going to happen. Right? This is what's going to happen. Now, let me tell you the good side of the business here. First up, there's the bad side. We already talked about that. Just from a fan's perspective, I will tell you the other thing that everybody's not thinking of, that I have thought of, that I've heard also from other people, is that you lose everything around it. So, right. So if I go to WrestleMania in Riyadh, which I do want to go again, didn't need a WrestleMania to go. I kind of want to see that WWE experience thing. I'm not going to go see Big Effie's gay brunch because it's not going to be there in GCW, right? Yeah, there's going to be no shows outside of SmackDown and the Hall of Fame, because basically what you do, what WrestleMania has become, is a destinational vacation where you go and see 45 different shows around, all the independent shows. Everybody's making money. Everybody's in town. WrestleCon. Right, you're going to an event, right? Like, you're spending all this money at an event, WrestleCon, right? Kind of thing, right? You're not going to get that there. There is no WrestleCon now. I'd be very surprised. Mainly, one of the reasons why that you can't get a WrestleCon is, first of all, there only was enough space. Not saying that it can't be built, but also it's not a direct flight for anybody in the United States. So you're going to lose out about 18 to 20% of people that would actually come to WrestleMania because they're not going to be able to afford it. Right, like I heard someone on the radio saying it costs $1,700 to get from Kansas. For me, it only costs me about $900 to go through Istanbul. But you're not going to get that. Now, who benefits business-wise from this? If you're smart, AEW. What you do, very simple business-wise, is in 2027 you run your all-in show after Wembley in 2026. You got to go back to Wembley. You must. You run a stadium show. You run a stadium show in April or May of that year. And what you do is you run that in Philly, Indianapolis, go to New Orleans, go to Minnesota, run a stadium show. And then all these independent shows around it, turn this into WrestleMania weekend again, except it's all in weekend. That's how you circumvent the system business-wise, people. Because this will continue to happen in the WWE. This is not going to be surprising anymore. You said, Ricky, I don't know how people are surprised by this news, right? Wake up. Now, before I jump off the soapbox, I told you this was a soapbox moment here. I told you it was. A couple of weeks ago, I said to you, when we were talking about Riyadh, I said, oh man, Royal Rumble. I think it's in Riyadh. It might be in Jeddah. Whatever. It's in Saudi Arabia. And what did I say to you? Who did I say was going to win the Rumble?
Oh, Sami Zayn.
I take it back.
Oh no,
Let me take it back now. I'm going to take it back.
Oh,
let me tell you something. That boy will win the WWE title, WrestleMania 43.
So we got Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn.
Yup. That's gonna happen. Very similar to when the All In came first to Wembley. You knew Paige was gonna win that title. Like you just knew.
And I like Sami Zayn. From what I see on TV, seems like a really genuinely really nice guy.
He's not a main eventer. Okay. Main eventer, but it's crazy, Ricky, to say this, right? He's a main eventer that's not a main eventer. Does that make sense? He is LA Knight. He's like the next down.
But if you're how do they get people flying into Jeddah, into Saudi? That's dangerous. So let's all be honest here, it's still dangerous. And they've got their certain laws and things like that. So how do you get people traveling to Saudi? Sami Zayn? No. The Rock. So you have to get him.
You're gonna have. Listen, the best part is there's gonna be tons of pyro people. Tons of pyro. Like there's an unlimited budget of pyro, right? Unlimited. You're right. No, you're right. How do you go to see Sami Zayn beat Solo Sikoa for the WWE heavyweight title? Right? Like it's just like I don't even need to watch the match, right? Like tell me about it later.
And
I do think the budget, there is no budget for this, right? Imagine if you or I, right? Imagine you and I, right? We go to together, we go to like a WrestleMania weekend, right? Let's just say that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be there. It could be somewhere else, right? It could be fucking in Biloxi, Mississippi, for all I care. What I'm saying is we go there with an unlimited budget. You and I, unlimited budget, right? And we start there. We didn't buy any tickets yet. Nothing for any shows, nothing. We just go, you want to go ringside to that? You want to go ringside to that? You want to go ringside to that? And where I'm going with this is that's the budget for Mania, right? So when someone says like, oh, I'm going to bring this person in for a one-off, like you are going to see more one-offs in that day. You will see more. You will literally see like TKO, Saudi Arabia will fly in everybody from Hollywood to sit in the front row and give them like $100,000 to just sit there and go. And we have some celebrities. First off, we have the president. We have Turk Al Shaman, right? And Prince Abba and King Abakababu. And next to King Abakababu is George Clooney.
Also, yeah, front row seat, people are going crazy for next year's Mania at 70,000. How much are they going to be in Saudi? I reckon around 100.
Oh yeah, they're gonna build. Well, do you remember? Think back. So this relationship is 2018, right? This is 2018 relationship, right? Do you remember that first? Do you remember that first one? I do. The couches that were in the front row. There was like 35 couches per section in the front row, and all the simple civilians were in the back. Right? They're not going to do that this time. Right? Correct. They're going to put folding chairs, and they're going to make, like you said, they're gonna ask WWE what's the number. You know what I mean? And then they're gonna make 100 and whatever thousand, and they're gonna be like, they're gonna build that exact number plus one. Moving on.
Yeah, for the next story, which is, and I don't know if he's left or released. I'm just going to take it. He's been released. It's the same effect. So Okay, leaves. Andrade leaves WWE.
Look, I
Your
think
thoughts
there's a lot to say here, right? I don't think there's really a lot to unpack. I just simply think that he's a super talented guy, right? But this industry is flooded with the super talented guys that never were. A Mr. Kennedy, right? A guy just never got off the ground. It's funny. Like this Mr. Kennedy, he could wrestle, but he never met a mic. Just like me, he never met a microphone that he didn't like. Andrade met every microphone he didn't like. I will tell you, right? Let's be clear. Great wrestler, right? I think that you'll find him. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to AEW eventually. I think CMLL is the way to go. I also do believe, though it's not his style, I think he'd be having some killer matches in Japan. I think that would be really interesting, with Tanahashi, retiring and really New Japan situation of, yes, the relationship and partnership is great with AEW with them. It's always been great. But with each star that New Japan has goes eventually over to AEW, they're losing a lack of talent. A lot of people are venting to the fact that maybe the Charlotte relationship, or whatever the case may be, could be that situation. I tended to look at Charlotte as a very professional person, and I actually tend to look at Andrade as also a very professional person. He carries himself with just the way he looks, how he presents himself, with a very business first mentality. I'm sure it was very difficult for them. It'd be very awkward for me, right? It'd be very awkward for me. But people make it work. But you also see that people don't make it work sometimes. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't want to harp on it from my perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of things very quickly. So, where does this leave Ray Phoenix? They were tagging together, and like at some point they were going to win the tag team titles. So now Ray, we'll get to it. Had a good match against Sami Zayn.
I thought about that when it happened, right? I was like, wait a minute, because I was like, wait a minute, doesn't he tag with and then I was like, oh, now it makes sense. And
had a gun match we'll get to it with Sami Zayn, but also very lost in the shuffle, and I think he's gonna be. And he's not out. When did he debut? Just after WrestleMania, I think.
Yes.
I don't know when Ray Phoenix debuted, but he's not been there long. Oh yeah, no, he's at Mania. I don't know. That was Penta. Who knows? Whatever. Andrade, he came back at the Rumble last year, so we'll say just over a year and a half, and he's gone already. Okay.
Yeah.
Personal opinion, I think he'd be a complete idiot to go back to AEW. They did nothing with him. Does he go
nothing with him in WWE?
Does he go to TNA, or is that too closely connected with WWE?
He did nothing in WWE.
Yeah,
right.
True.
If the conversation is, when someone says to you, like, if your relationships are failing, right? This relationship fails and this relationship fails, and eventually someone says, it's not the relationship, it's you. Right. And so if the problem in WWE originally was that, oh man, he was so good, but they don't see the value. AEW, man, he's so good, but they don't see the value. Comes back to WWE, man, he's so good, but they don't see the value. Then maybe it's time to look in the mirror.
Someone said that. Oh no, one coming on Facebook said that, but he also said, which got me, he has the personality of cornflakes, which is kind of correct.
Yeah, it's not even Frosted Flakes, Ricky. right? It's not even Frosted Flakes where you get a ounce of sugar. I think that I agree. I 100% agree.
Good in the ring, puts on the double flippy does the double moonsault, fantastic. But tell me, anybody watching or whatever, tell me a good promo Andrade has cut.
Never. And you know what? I'll be honest with you here. He goes from a WWE perspective. He goes back to the old adage and bucket of the NXT success stories that never were.
They could have sent it back down there, couldn't they?
I'm just
don't
saying
know.
the NXT success stories that never amounted to anything afterwards. Remember, he was the one that. Let me tell you something. If we should have this show at some point. We'll have this segment at some point. Top 5 NXT matches of all time. Okay, I was there. He ranks number 5 on my list of top NXT matches of all time with him and Johnny Gargano in Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia. Phenomenal match. Unbelievable. Right? But again, he chalks up to that situation.
See, when WWE had 10,000 brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, couldn't he have sent him to Evolve? He would have been a big name for whatever.
I was him. I wouldn't have went to Evolve. I would say fuck off. Like, because let's be clear, because and also at the same time, the situation, he probably was making his base probably was around $500,000 or so, $250,000 with merchandise incentives. Maybe you're not going to go to Evolve where they're making $32,000 a year. You're just not.
The choice was probably the Indies or back to CMLL or stay with WWE. And you're going to Evolve.
But see, here's the thing. I don't. This guy is going to command, in theory, anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 on the indie scene. And you don't got to speak on the indie scene.
True. Yeah.
Right. And he could do photo ops and autographs. Not a big deal. Right. And he can charge $50 a pop for that. So on a weekend, he'll make $20,000. Let's say he does that a few times. Let's say he does it twice. Let's just say he does it twice a month. Right? He works Saturday and Sunday shows, right? Twice a month. Wrestles for a total of a half hour. Right? Maybe. You're making $40,000. That's $480,000 a year. You don't have to do shit.
Can you see him ending up in TNA, perhaps at Bound for Glory or something? No? Okay.
For what? The story's already in place right now. You debut him. I'm not saying you don't, right? If you want to debut him, great. You should debut him when Santana's wrestling for the title, right? Right? You want to get real crazy, debut him, but it's only going to work for like a second, right? It's going to be a hot minute type thing. You debut him after Santana wins the title. Lights go out. He comes out masked or like he face-to-face mask, and you already know who that is. And yeah, for that 2 months or a month, he'll be really hot. But then let's go back to the same thing.
Yeah. Be a different, same guy, just in a different company. Like, oh, cool, it's Andrade. 2 months later, who?
Correct.
But we'll quickly, got 25 minutes left here, so we'll quickly move on to the next segment. So only one notable date this week for. Let me find the little video for this right here. So this right, this week in wrestling history. Let me find that as well. It's only one notable day on September 10th, 2012. It was unfortunate that it happened, but Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Now, I know what you're about to say. Oh, no, that's not what you're about to say. There was something
Jerry
else.
the King Lawler, heart attack. Yeah, suffered a heart attack. I'll keep this short and sweet, but very, very, very sad. If it had to happen, thank God it happened at the commentary booth. The doctor right there. Yeah, crazy, sad news. Thank God he's still with us. I know he's in bad health now, but I suppose he will be at 70. Yeah, that's kind of my really only take on it. Thank God there was a doctor there. If this happened like the hotel later on, he would be dead. So yeah,
So there was another date this week. Let's be clear. You're forgetting a very important date. 24 years ago, not to the day now. 24 years ago, yesterday, the WWE was the first sports show, if you will, after 9/11. So, yep.
Yes, I saw that on the week in history. We'll just start. I don't know. Drew the King Lawler for me, it's probably more important. I don't know.
Fuck Jerry. Fuck Jerry. No offense, Jerry. No offense. No offense. But 24 years ago in a day to a day before, it's funny. We talked about the soapbox before, right? We talk about people getting their shit together, right? Wake up. I wish America went back to 9/12. And I said 9/12 as the day after 9/11, when everybody came together, left, right, indifferent, to band together and be together. And that was your neighbor, that was your friend. And WWE gave everybody that outlet on, I think it was 9/13 that Thursday. Because remember, SmackDown used to be on Tuesdays? Right. I think that was the point. It was still on Tuesdays. And they went, and the show was in Houston, Texas. Vince had a great speech. Vince was always good on the mic, right? Let's be clear. But it was funny that day wasn't Vincent Kennedy, right? No, that was just Vince, right? Talking to everybody. And it was a great. I remember that show to the day, right? Everybody crying. It was a bunch of wrestlers wrestling. I think it wasn't really storyline driven that day. And you could feel the emotion. That stuck out for me this week in history. Like, just that day.
Any thoughts of the unfortunate Jerry King Lawler heart attack? Okay, fair enough.
It sucks. I'm surprised that somebody like Vince hadn't had that happen, right? Just because he gets so amped up, right, when he was on commentary. Right.
Well,
right.
the quads or the rumble.
The quads, right? The quads, the rumble, right? Yeah, it sucks. Nothing. Having a heart attack anywhere is not a good situation. You'd like to think that, and I'm not condoning or saying, I'm saying thank God that it happened there. If it happened while he was driving, he'd be dead. If it happened in his hotel room, he'd be dead. Just not. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
I'll play a very quick ad, and then we'll get into today's wrestling. But yeah, let me play this first. So yes, like, subscribe, all of that, and we're going to chat about today's wrestling with... Oh, not that. Not that one. That one. This one. I always play the wrong one. So yes, wrestling roundup. Just for a case of time, we'll speed through most of this.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't. Well, we can go through it. Like, it wasn't like crazy. Like, there were some things we should talk about, but it wasn't like.
So very quickly on Dynamite again. I basically
just Daniel Garcia took a turn. I didn't watch it live. Right, I didn't watch it live.
Based purely off results, Adam Page defeats Josh Alexander. Rihu.
Oh, you know what? I did see that match. I think Josh Alexander is an entirely underrated wrestler.
Rihu and Alex Windsor over Emi Sakura and Mercedes Moné.
Sakura, bro, get your Japanese together. Jesus.
It's mainly because I don't watch, so I don't really know how to pronounce the name. So, and it's not very quickly. It's not because it's not WWE. I watch WWE, TNA, AAA. Okay, it's because
Why don't you? We'll get into AAA in a second. Why don't you watch AEW? Is it time because it's like so late at night?
Personally, bored.
You just watched the fucking Pizza Man, okay? So at least Pizza
wrestlers in it. I want to watch it. So
you don't want to watch that. That's not Body Slam. That's not Piper and Body Slam, right? It's not No Holds Barred.
But very quickly, I want to finish my thought there. The reason I watch AAA is let's be honest, WWE. If WWE weren't involved, would I be watching? Probably not. In the year 2025, I did want to start watching more wrestling, so I would have started watching TNA anyway. I have watched Dynamite in the past. I used to be on a Facebook group page called Unpopular Review a few years ago, actually covering Dynamite. Okay. But I read the results and I think, what have I missed?
Well, the problem with the results is, that the segments aren't in there per se.
And I'm not saying that Raw and SmackDown, especially Raw, I'm not saying Raw is fantastic and AEW crap. No.
No, I think it's all very MJF used to say, right? It's all very mid.
Out of from a few segments, Raw is bad. Of an overall 2.5 hour show, it's crap.
Yeah,
but
you don't have to.
I don't know. I watched the AEW pay-per-views and the pay-per-views are good, but
I think that's what it goes back to, right? This week you said something about you said All Out. What was All Out? Yeah, All Out looks like it could be a Dynamite card. Now that's not here's the thing. That's not a bad thing. Let me tell you what that means. Because AEW is so used to putting those kind of matches on Dynamite. Anyway, right? So it's not, you're always going to see those anyway. It's just the way it is. I also think it's just too many damn pay-per-views.
Yeah, All Out and WrestlePalooza in the same day.
That's a whole other issue. And you're going to continuously have that.
I sit and complain. I will say, 4 hours of AEW, 3 hours of W, so 7 hours, 7 straight hours of wrestling. But I'll still sit and watch it all. Well, 5 hours of AEW if you count the pre-show. But quickly, Ricochet over Shelton Benjamin. Tony Storm knocks off Sky Blue in a Philly street fight, I believe. And in your main event, Death Riders and Young Bucks come out on top against Brodido and the Ops. Purely reading the results there, there's nothing that I think, I want to go and see.
Well. So the Bucks are in that storyline where like they have no money and like the company is treating them like shit, like calling them Generation Me and like doing all this stuff. And so they have this money now. They wrestled. They won like $500,000 or so. So hopefully that buys them the ability to get like at least their theme music back, right? Like and like I think it's a little comical, right? It's a little WWE 2016, but I kind of dig it a little bit because I do think the Young Bucks have plateaued in their ability to do things, and just like Jericho, I think it's good to reinvent yourself.
Correct. So we'll just speed through Raw, one whole segment. The rest was just, again, I'm not saying Raw is this fantastical thing and AW crap, AW shit, WWE is the best ever.
Right.
No, Raw, apart from one segment, was really skippable. Anyway, Corey Graves, Joe Tessitore on commentary. Cool. They make a good team. The Usos coming out to promo, interrupted by Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. We'll go kind of double segments. So if it's two match, double, just for a case of time. AJ Styles over El Grande Americano. Grande, horrible brand new theme, but there it is. The only thing people are talking about is the shoot promo he cut. Whatever. Your thoughts on the opening segment and Styles over El Grande?
I love Styles. I think that there's something to what he's doing. And I think that I don't really care. I didn't, like I saw the AJ Lee thing, which I thought was really cool. I thought that it was real. Very real. I thought in 2025 you're able to have a chant for self-help, which is really cool. I think that's a huge benefit, right, as to the society that we're in, talking about all things that we've been talking about. But I really don't have that much to say about it. I do think we're watching a very slow Jey Uso heel turn. But do I really care? I've already seen him as a heel.
Raquel Rodriguez defeats Lyra Valkyria. Okay.
So
the only thing worth watching, you mentioned it, was the AJ. So out comes AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Punk. Is the only thing worth really watching on Raw. Rusev knocks off Penta. Ugh, whatever. Poor Penta's really lost in the shuffle. And I think I said this last week. He came in with so much hype, and now he's just another guy on the roster.
Another guy on the roster.
Asuka taps out. God, this could be a whole rant. Asuka taps out Nikki Bella very, very, really quickly. Nikki Bella's 42. Look how she's in the ring. She's, let's be honest, awful. She's 13 years younger than The Rock, 20 years younger than The Undertaker and Austin. If they, God help us, but if they wrestle at WrestleMania 43, she's 20 years younger, and look how she's in the ring.
Yeah, I think that the women are really going to suffer at WrestleMania 43. I think that first off, if you know anything about how hot it is there, it's fucking brutal, and you are going to be making these women have to wrestle in full, like, clothed situations. Like, they're gonna be hot as shit.
And then your main event on Raw, Bronson Reed defeats LA Knight. Yeah. And then, the seemed slow heel turn of Jey Uso, spear to LA Knight. That's it. That was Raw. Punk, AJ Lee, the past is the only thing really worth talking about. The rest, I'll say dark match. Let's move on to NXT. Josh Briggs, who, like I said last week, I'm a big fan of. Josh Briggs, good heel.
I like him.
And he wins a dirty tactic. So he knocks off Javon Evans. Yeah, cool. Your thoughts on this quickly?
Yeah, I don't really care about the match. I do think Josh Briggs is a good heel.
Out come DIY, followed by Trick Williams, followed by the guy that when Trick said, "Oh, I'm going to get a tag team partner last week," I thought it was going to be this guy, and it was Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. Homecoming's going to be interesting.
Laney Reed in a speed match knocks off Fabi Apache. It wouldn't shock me if she goes on to defeat Sol Ruker at No Mercy, but we'll wait and see anyway. Dark State retain against Hank Walker, Tank Ledger. Okay. In a flag match, Taven Heights comes out on top. And then Tyler Breeze returns. So any thoughts of Laney Reed winning, Dark State retaining? And
yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ethan Page losing a flag match, especially when you're trying to build him up with his Chelsea. Chelsea should have handled that situation. She did not. I think it's stupid. I just think it's dumb, but it is what it is. Tyler Breeze is a cool little fit there. I do think his relationship with there is a huge relationship with TNA. Why can't Fandango or come back and kind of for one night they come together? I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Really quickly, speaking about Love of Wrestling convention, this year they were there live. They had a match, and seeing the Breezango entrance live, great. It's great to be there in person.
Absolutely.
And then your main event on Raw. Oh no, yeah, was the main event. Yeah, the Culling knocked off Sol Ruker and Zori and Fatal Influence. They're going to go and get a title shot. I think that's great for the Culling. I think I've said it before. Set Impact really fits. But then the bigger story is the three returns they had: Stephanie Fakir, Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley getting a match next week.
Yeah, it's cool.
Big card, I'll say, for NXT. Evolve, very quickly on Evolve.
Dark match.
Very quickly, Carly Bright knocks off Layla Diggs. She's getting a good push. Ridge Holland went over to Wilder. I think I've said this before. If it wasn't for Evolve, Ridge Holland probably would have been released like Andrade and the rest. And then your main events are Jackson Drake retain. From me, I'll say an opener.
By the way, huge fan of Jackson Drake. I've seen him live at least 3 times. So very huge fan of Jackson Drake.
Good heel. SmackDown, Booker T, Vic Joseph. I personally like them as a commentary team. They were on commentary. Booker T back on commentary on SmackDown.
So funny. So when Vic Joseph was like the worst general manager, and he's like, "I'm about to whoop your ass."
The only thing worth again a one segment show. The only thing worth talking about on SmackDown was Brock Lesnar. Here comes just whatever. We haven't really got time to dwell on it, but out comes R-Truth. He gets F5. R-Truth right back into where he was before he got released.
So funny. That segment was hilarious. You can see Brock Lesnar was having so much fun, though. You can tell.
Well, but I get it because R-Truth, R-Truth is seen as R-Truth's childhood hero, so he's linked with Cena, but it does nothing for Brock heading into WrestleMania.
That's Ron Cena.
And they repeated the same line 3 times. I just thought, they put zero effort into this show. Just, Brock Lesnar's out there. That's it. Sami Zayn retained against Rey Fenix. Good match they put on. Julia and Kiana James to beat up B-Fan, Michi making the saves. It sets up a match next week. Whoopie do.
Oh.
Jay Cargill, Tiffany Stratton went to a double.
I always preface when Jade's in a match by saying great match because it's great match for Jade.
But they went to a double count out, so you're probably getting Jay Cargill, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton at WrestlePalooza. Whoopie do. And then your main events are Drew McIntyre knock off Randy Orton, who's had a horrible win-loss record since returning 2 years of 2023 returned. And then Cody Rhodes comes on out, whoopie-doo, 0 pop, no one cared.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Everybody cared. You must be You do Helen Keller, you deaf? Like,
well, I think people were just like,
Cody Rhodes was people were excited to see Cody. He looked a lot more fit. And it sets up what we already knew was happening.
where Drew should take the title, but he probably
Never
won't.
happened.
For SmackDown,
It would never happen.
Like I said, a one segment show.
Yeah.
Dark match. Let's get into what very quickly what followed.
Hell yeah! I got some things to say about my Mr. Iguana Man Hamburguesa. So you don't butcher the names. Don't you do it.
8-person tag team match. It's longer to say the names than it is to say about the actual match. But LWO Mini Abismo Negro lost to La Parca.
I love La Parca. I love that little midget guy, not the super midget guy, but the little midget guy, not the mini midget guy, but the smaller guy. I thought it was great. Listen, I thought it was a great start to the show. I would have preferred Mr. Iguana Man for starting the show, but I think again, you have to separate it from a WWE perspective and look at it from a luchador Mexican perspective. It works well. AAA is more along the lines of fun and entertaining and cool, hot, flippy stuff.
For me, I thought the two minis just didn't. For me personally, didn't work. They were so botchy. It's just like, ugh.
They're 4-2, man. He's 4-2.
But both of them working together, I just thought, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, you got to watch more midget wrestling, man. You watch watch Pizza Boy. You could watch midget wrestling, okay?
Great to see two people I've never seen before. That's one of the great things about wrestling, seeing all these new faces. But botchy. For me personally, botchy. Natalia, knocked off
Natty.
Baby. This was bad.
Yeah, that's not okay. So yes, I agree. I don't actually think it was Natty's fault per se. I watched that match very, very closely. I just think that the other one's rather old, not in the best shape. Not that I'm saying something about her body type at all. I'm just saying not in the best ring shape. So it became a little botchy. I do think obviously putting Natty over is the way to go. I don't think that this Natalia character should ever be around anymore. She needs to be Natty all the time. She needs to drop F-bombs. Just like she doesn't bust it open. Just let it go.
Yeah, for me, it felt like a lack of chemistry. It was just, again, so botchy. Natalia's one and just stood there. I was like, ugh. Okay.
I also think that there's a language barrier. Even though that other one speaks English, Natty's like the uber white girl, too. Let's be clear. Even though she's Canadian. Uber white.
Next up for the AAA Tag Team titles, you had Pagano and Psycho Clown retaining against Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller. I do like that Grayson Waller given something to do.
I'm a very huge fan of Psycho Clown and Pagano, but we got a nice little surprise at the end there, didn't we not? The crowd. No. Listen to the crowd. The crowd was happy to see them. It has no bearing on a storyline. There's no storyline. Yeah. You're not expecting like Bo Dallas to start speaking Spanish and talk to Pagano and Psycho Clown, but I kind of like again, we're infusing WWE again, like you said 15 minutes ago. Will you be watching AAA without it? Probably not. I sure as hell wouldn't be. But WWE has created access to it. But we're not watching it weekly TV. We're just watching it when they have pay-per-views. It's fine.
Yeah. Personally, I thought, oh God, here come the White Six. Because Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis are awful in the ring, just bad. Yes. And I personally thought they did too much. Like they put them through a table, then they did the finish. I was like, whatever. Okay, maybe it was just me, but I thought, oh god, here come the Wire Six, boring. Finn Balor, so it's Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana.
I love me, Mr. Iguana Man. You know, everybody loves Mr. Iguana Man. But I also like Finn Balor in this situation, right? I think you're seeing a side of Finn Balor that you don't normally see. I mean, he can be very like nonchalant sometimes, which is a good thing for him because he can be serious. I think his little fucking little demon guy is
He's got
hilarious. So over. By the way, you can get that at www.shop.com. It's $190. I'm just kidding. It's something like that. Let's be clear. But I think it's really cool. I thought that suicide dive with the little iguana, it's fucking phenomenal. Again, AAA shows that they are a mixture of true sports entertainment.
That puppet very quickly with a bit of time, patience, and the right materials. I probably could make it for free. The craft thing I go through,
100%.
We could make it for free, and
you should do that for next week's show.
$60 or something.
Yeah,
but Lola Vice winning builds momentum for heading into the match with JT Jane, so that's good. Fatal 4-way match for the AAA Latin American Championship. Good match. Okay. Yeah, but I think they maybe needed more time, but that was it. So Dr. Wagner retains. Then your main event, he's finally done it. Dominic Mysterio is a world champion and double champion. Your AAA main champion, Intercontinental champion.
Are we suffice to say at this point that he is one of the best definitely in the top 10? Would you say he's top 5 best family members of fathers who are stars? Right? Would you say top 5 at this point? I think we're at that point.
Yeah,
I think so. Right, and he's only just starting.
Yeah, you have to go Charlotte in that conversation.
Charlotte, Cody. I think that Dom is there, and Dom is doing it his own way, which I think is fucking phenomenal.
I know she's not a wrestler, but still, Ava definitely for father, the most famous ever. Anyway, good show, AAA. But presume now we're gonna get El Grande Americano in the Judgment Day. They're gonna try to somehow make that make sense. But good show. Nick Carden is my rating. What's your rating for the show?
Oh, I think the AAA show was the show of the week.
And we'll very quickly finish off the bit of promotion with this very quickly. So Wrestling Days out really quickly. We've got like 2 minutes, not even that really, but so the 2 shows I went to this past weekend on Friday was this True Grit Games, the True Grit Wrestling. Good enough show. Then the show, pressed the wrong thing there. There it was. Went to that last night. Again, another good show. Picked up a few bits that I was just going to quickly show off really quickly. So got myself a poster upside down. A couple of badges.
How cute.
And got a picture signed by their women's champion. So got that picture signed.
It's nice.
The shows I've got coming up, so no shows next week, but the week after are somewhere. So we've got that show, LWF it's called, so Lancashire Wrestling Federation, and then the day after, so so I've got that, so LWF on the Friday, and then that on the Saturday. But also coming up in October is the man himself. He will be there live.
That's me. It's me with a tan. Yeah, but before that, I'll be in Bayville, I think, in 2 weeks for Titan. Then I'll be again October 11th for Titan as well. But yes, that's the big show. I'll be doing something with Sandman on the 25th of October. That's why I gotta get back to the gym too, right? Again, I gotta get that back ready to go. He's coming with those kendos.
Yeah, and if you want to send me the pictures over for Titan so I can promote that as well, and so maybe send me the link so I could really promote Titan and really put them over. And yeah, I do like doing my bit of my promotion for indie wrestling, be it UK, America, wherever.
That's the man.
Yes. So yeah, get to that show. You got Sandman on it. You got Zilla on it. October 25th. So the same day as Halloween Havoc. So you can go to that show and then watch Halloween Havoc.
There we go.
Later. Yeah. So yeah. That's it for this week. Everybody make sure to like and subscribe. And the last words over to Sean.
Yeah. Look, listen. We talked a little bit this week about all this different stuff. We introduced the soapbox segment, which I hope you guys liked. So I'm going to lead kind of with that situation is just try to be kind to each other, right? Everybody has their own opinions of things, no matter if it's wrestling or if it's personal, or if it's political. Try to take it all in stride, right? Like, don't everything is mid. We try not to bash companies, right? We just say we're just not interested sometimes. For things, try to be nicer to people because in this world where every single day there's a situational problem, that the news never covers the good stories. They only cover the bad. And every day there's a bad story, people. So don't be part of it.
Yeah, like I said, I try and stay away from real life news. It's just doom and gloom. But yes, everybody like, subscribe. We'll see you guys next Saturday, right before WrestlePalooza. So a whole day of wrestling. Like, subscribe, and always remember, as I try and find the outro, there it is. Always remember that it's Ricky J bringing the British Bites to the fight.